Hey guys, so today I am going to film this super quick for you guys. I hadn't planned on filming it today, but I just got my Colourpop order in the mail and I decided that I wanted to film this for you quickly because Manny MUA had posted a video. Today's Tuesday. Manny MUA posted a video on Sunday. And he did a Colourpop full face review, and he has a code Manny20 and that will save you 20% off on almost everything except the new products. And I'm going to place another order tonight, so I just wanted to get this up for you guys so you could see some of the products, and maybe if you were interested you could get a 20% off discount. They're super cheap as is, so it's like a great discount. If you hear my air conditioner in the background, I'm really sorry. I have to leave it on. It's legit like 90 degrees today, and that's why I was not going to film this video because I don't want to wear makeup today, but for the sake of YouTube and because I'm actually really excited to try these products too, I am going to show you the video. So this will be almost a full face of Colourpop. I don't have brows, mascara, obviously they don't have mascara, but brows, mascara, and I think setting spray, that's it, and primer. But other than that, my eyes, my cheeks, everything is going to be Colourpop. So if you want to see my review, go ahead and watch. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull my hair back. I wanted to show you guys these little like elasticy things. I got these from Influenster and I think they're called the Bobble. I have to check, but I got a box of Influenster goodies, and if anybody doesn't know what Influencer is, I'll link it below. It's just an app you download, you answer questions, and they will send you free stuff to review. You don't even have to be a YouTuber, they just do it for a bunch of people. They're awesome because I have really curly hair and I hate how sometimes elastics will take away my curl when I'm doing my makeup. So I just use these and it holds the curl and it doesn't mess up your hair. It's no tangle, nothing. They're awesome. So I am going to be using the Colourpop No Filter foundation today, and it says that it is a comfort matte finish. So I am going to go in with the Too Faced Hangover RX primer, moisturizing primer, and I will put this on because I don't want to be super matte today. I have combination skin right now, more oily than anything. And prime my eyes with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer, and I just set them with a translucent powder. I am going to go ahead now while the primer, I put my primer on first, sometimes I don't, sometimes I do, but I am going to go in now with the Colourpop Fortune palette. This palette like really interested me because it has a lot of my favorite like colors, and like look how cute this box is. So it has a lot of warm tone shadows, which everybody knows are my jam, and a lot of shimmery shadows. So I was really excited about this palette because I felt like I would get the most use out of this. I'm gonna go for like a neutral look again, nothing crazy today, just because it's like almost 100 degrees, or it will be almost 100 degrees, so I don't want too much makeup on my face. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade right here, Ben, and I'm just going to take this on a fluffy crease brush, and I'm just going to throw this all over my lid. This is basically like the same color as my lid. This will just make my transition smoother. And I haven't tried Colourpop shadows more than once. I believe when they first came out with their shadows, I got like the free palette with an order. Like when they first, I'm talking like last year, came out with shadows, they gave like a free trial palette to people with an order, and I got that, and I used it like once, and my mom took it on vacation with her because she likes the colors. They weren't really my tones, they were more cool toned. I obviously like warm tones, but my mom took it with her and it broke on the plane. So I never really got to try them after that. So this will be like a first impressions for me as far as like how their shadows work. So that shade, obviously you can't really see much, it's just kind of a nice neutral shade. The thing I'm going to do is take this shade Wiser, and I'm just going to put that in the crease, and this will be like my first transition shade. Wow, that's actually really pigmented. It's pulling more peach on my lid, which is funny because I feel like no matter what I do, I always lean towards like peachy and warm shadows. Like I can't get away from them. The next thing I'm going to do is take the shade Mo Problems on a Glamour Dolls crease brush, and I'm just going to put this in the lower part of my crease. This shade isn't crazy pigmented. I'm finding that I have to go in a couple times and kind of just dip a few times and build it up. It is building up, which is a good thing, but just like if you're looking for a shadow off rip that's going to be crazy pigmented, this does not seem to be the one, but that's okay for me because like I said, I would rather add to because it's easier to add than it is to take away. thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade Fortunate, which is like a reddy brown and it's a little darker, and I'm just going to put this on the outer V of my eye. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to clean up underneath at the end. So I always like don't really care if I make it crazy messy on the outside because I want to get the shape perfect. Now I'm just going to take a clean brush. This is the Wet n Wild crease brush, and I'm just going to blend out any of the harsh edges. To go into this little cute palette here, and this is the Make Up Your Mind palette. I got this for free with a $20 order, and it's just this really cute, it won't be released actually until July I believe, but it's just this cute palette full of shimmers. And I'm going to take this shimmer right here, and this is on a Colourpop brush. I think it's just a flat brush, it doesn't even have a name on it. Again, I got this when they were like testing out before they even came out with the brushes. So I'm gonna take the shade right here, and this is the shade Inside Out. It's just like a pretty rose goldy peach shimmer. I swatched it on my hand already, but I'm just gonna take that, and I'm not gonna be super precise with it. That's why I didn't map it out with concealer. I'm just gonna kind of dust this all over the lid. That's so pretty. I love Colourpop's shimmer shadows. I loved their Super Shock. I always say Super Shock. I loved their Super Shock shadows so much when they first came out. I was so impressed by the brand. I was like, this is crazy. Like, everything is so cheap and the quality is awesome. Like, they're literally the same price as the drugstore. The only thing that sucks for me is, which by the way, they have improved on this, their shipping used to take forever. It used to take like 2 weeks to get something to where I live. I live in Connecticut, and like they're stationed in LA, so it used to take a really long time. But I placed this order last Thursday and today is Tuesday. I got it Tuesday, so it came really quickly, which is awesome. So like, I'm just gonna bring you up close so you could see the shimmer in that shadow. It is gorgeous. That's not wet, that's just plain dry. I almost want to wet it just to see how intensified it could be. So I have the shadow on the brush. I'm just gonna spray it with some Fix Plus, and we're going to see what it would look like wet. Oh wow. Yeah, so like it intensifies it a lot. Not that it needed to be intensified anymore, but it definitely does. I'm literally going to work. They're gonna be like, Sarah, you're so extra, which is the story of my life anyway, so it's fine. But I'm going to just touch up the outside V in my eye and run a crease brush through it with just whatever color is left on my crease brush. I'm going to throw some lashes on, and I will be back to test out the foundation. Finished my lashes and cleaned up under my eyes. I'm just using the Kiss Blowout Lashes and the style Page Boy. I also received these in my Influenster box to try for free. I'm gonna get a little closer for you guys. I think that they're okay. They're nothing impressive to me. I love Kiss lashes. Like, I'm just gonna pull some from my lash drawer right now. Like, these look a little rough, but I literally, that's all I use is Kiss lashes besides the Jasmine Brown Curly Queens. But these are just a little maybe too long for me because I have smaller eyes. I like spacey lashes that are separated a little bit more. They looked pretty in the box, but like now on my eyes I'm thinking they're a little too long. They're giving my eyes a little weird of a shape, but we're gonna go with it. So the next thing we're gonna do is, my face is primed, we are going to go in now and try the No Filter. So this is the foundation. I got the shade 115 medium dark, and now I'm like kind of regretting it because when I bought it I was super tan. First of all, there's like 42 shades I think, so it was really hard for me to find a shade. They made like a color comparison chart and everything, but because I switched tones so much, it was very hard for me to find just one shade, and I only wanted to buy one right now because I'm very sensitive to foundations, and there is not ingredients like on the package, and I couldn't find any anywhere else. So that was the only thing that was like scary to me. I was afraid to spend the money and then my skin break out from it. So I did get the shade medium dark. It's going to be too dark for me. I swatched it on my arm. It has like an olive undertone. It's just going to be a little too deep for me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to end up mixing it off bat. Otherwise I know I will hate it, because if something doesn't match you, like, you're not going to like it to begin with. But I will try a tiny bit on my face without mixing it first so I can just see the original formula. And I'm going to try this side with a brush and this side with a beauty sponge. So I'm just going to pump a few pumps onto my finger, and I'm just going to swipe it onto my face. This foundation retails for $12, and you do get, let me check, I know it's under an ounce because I watched some review videos, you get 0.85 fluid ounces. So it's not like a horrible price for it as far as I'm concerned, because it is a drugstore foundation. So I'm going to go ahead now with a Tarte brush, and I'm just going to kind of blend this out. So I would say that it definitely has medium coverage. This is medium to definitely full. I like it a lot. It actually isn't a bad match. I don't know if it's my light. Like you could see right here, there's a line between my body and my neck. This is a little bit more olive. I'm a little bit more yellow, but I knew that going in. Like you could see the difference in the side. I'm gonna mix it a tiny bit, but look at the difference in each side. Like it looks really good, and I'm actually super impressed right now. So I am gonna take like that much, and I'm just going to apply it to this side, and I'm going to use a beauty sponge for this side, and then we will see the difference. I'm also, like I said, going to add, I just took a little bit more, I'm going to add a lighter foundation. I'm probably going to end up using the L'Oreal foundation because that's what I usually use, and I will use that just to kind of even myself out a bit. So obviously with the sponge you get a little bit less coverage, nothing honestly crazy different, but you do get a tiny bit less coverage. I'm probably gonna go back over this with a brush just because I like the way the brush is applying it, which is funny because again, I usually like the way a sponge applies foundation, but for this foundation I'm actually liking a brush a lot. I'm just gonna take that brush with whatever's left over on it. Sorry, I just put like the mirror up in your face. With whatever's left over on it, and I'm just gonna go over my face a little bit more, and definitely I'm going to use the brush to just bring this down so that we're almost all even. It's really not a horrible match, and I do feel like as soon as I tan again I will be this shade, but for right now when I'm like in this in-between stage, it's a little bit too dark, but it's not even that it's too dark, it's just the undertone is a little off. So I am just going to take the L'Oreal Pro Glow in the shade 202 Creamy Natural, and like it literally is white. This was my shade in the winter before I was tan, and I'm just gonna kind of bounce that in with a beauty blender around my face just to kind of neutralize it a bit. And this will add a little bit more yellow into my skin tone too, because L'Oreal foundations actually have a more yellow base, and I'm actually gonna use the brush. I like the brush better. And obviously when I conceal and contour and highlight and all that, I will end up changing the color of the foundation a bit as well. Honestly, I think I paid 70 bucks and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. That's really good. 8 things because I got eyeliner too. It's somewhere over here. For like 70 bucks, and that was with no discount codes. So when I have the discount code, I definitely think it's going to be better. So that is the foundation up close. As you can tell, you can still see like my skin, but I only used 1 pump on each side. I'm gonna go in with the concealers. I just restocked on a few of them. I have the Colourpop concealer. I love it, but it was a little too light for me, so now I restocked on 2 different shades. Light 16 and I believe medium 26. Medium 26 I got, and just in case, like the days that I don't like to do like a full look, and I just want a more close to my skin tone shade, it would be this one. Light 16 was the suggested highlight shade when I put in like all my information online. So I'm gonna go in with the medium 26 first, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of the light 16. I love Colourpop concealers. Like they're one of my favorite, and these retail for $6. You can use the code, the Manny MUA code on these. I think the code is Manny20. I will confirm and put it below. I believe it's only active for a few days, but I love these concealers. I like them because there's all different undertones. I'm actually gonna go and order a deeper one as well for contouring. The one that I had that was like my deeper shade is actually like my face shade now, so it does nothing. But this is the medium 26 shade. It's very yellowy, which I love, and I'm gonna take the light 16, which seems to be very light, and I'm just gonna draw a tiny, yeah, that's super light. I'm gonna draw a tiny little triangle underneath my eye. I wouldn't necessarily put this one all over my face because I don't like a super bright under eye. I used to be all about the super bright under eye, like a white ass under eye, and now not so much. So this will just mix in with my others. I look crazy right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a wet beauty sponge and blend this out. It reminds me a lot of a mix between the Urban Decay Naked concealers and the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I love the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, but that creases on me like almost instantly. So this reminds me of the creaminess of the Too Faced Born This Way, but it reminds me of the staying power of the Urban Decay Naked. And honestly, for $6 you could legit get like 3 of them at full price for the price it would cost you, less actually than the price it would cost you to get one of the Urban Decay Naked or the Too Faced ones. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Banana. Little fearful because I know some people, they don't watch other people's reviews before they film. I'm not one of those people. I totally watch other people's reviews before I film, and I read and well I watched that people that used the banana shade or any of the shades, they say that it like kind of darkens up your foundation a little bit, like the powder oxidizes the foundation, and I'm like right on that line of I could use translucent or I could use banana. If the banana is too deep, it will make my under eye look kind of wonky, so I'm a little nervous about that, but I'm gonna try it, and I'm also gonna order the translucent one tonight. But the yellow, it's like really yellow, so I'm gonna go in with one side with a brush. Sometimes I will do a brush if I'm not like doing like a super full coverage, like obviously this is full coverage, but I'm gonna go in one side with a brush, and then I'm gonna use a sponge for the other side, so we'll see. The powder seems to be super finely milled. Once I look up from the camera, I'll be able to tell. Okay, so it's not crazy. I don't think it's like darkening my foundation a lot. We will see in a few minutes what else happens. I wouldn't say it's giving me a super bright effect, but I wouldn't say that it's darkening my foundation at all yet, if that makes sense. A damp beauty blender, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of this powder. It comes out of the cap really fast, and like it's hard for me to get my sponge all the way in there, but I'm just gonna take it on my sponge and apply it to under my eyes. And I think this will be the real test, because if it is crazy yellow, it's definitely gonna oxidize with the sponge because I'm putting on a significantly more amount with the sponge. I would say that it looks pretty good. It's not darkening my foundation as far as I'm concerned. What I'm going to take the Up the Ante palette, and this is just the face duo. It has a bronzer and a highlighter, and this was $10, which again, awesome price. So it's just a bronzer and like a gold highlighter, and I'm going to take my MAC 150 powder brush, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this bronzer on and just bronze my face. It's really pretty. It's adding some nice warmth to my face. I went like ham shopping this weekend. I don't even know if people still say that, but I do. I went crazy shopping this weekend for makeup, and I bought the new Morphe bronzer palette, and I really like it, but a few of the shades are pulling red on me as well. It's not horrible. Like, I don't care if it pulls red on me as much, as long as it doesn't look crazy, especially because sometimes during the day your bronzer tends to oxidize. I'm just gonna take this brush, and I'm gonna kind of just, oh, there's a mirror on this palette too. I'm gonna take this brush, and I'm just gonna kind of bronze my nose a little bit. Nose is a little bit textured regardless, so that's nobody's problem but my nose's problem at this point. The powder, I would say it doesn't like smooth out your under eye a crazy amount, I will be honest. As you can tell, like there is a little bit of texture showing, and I don't hate it. I think it looks pretty good, but I will say if you have a little bit more of a textured skin type, just to be aware of that. This is the face palette. Sure if it's just because of the way I applied it, or like, I'm not sure, but I'm noticing a little bit that the powder is moving around a bit in these areas. Like this, I have no blush on. This is literally just my redness peeking through, and it seems to be that the powder is moving a bit. It's not setting fully, so I'm gonna try these products like for a few more days, obviously, and I will be able to put like an update in the description bar lower as like the week goes on. But I'm not sure, like I like it, I'm just not sure if it's the powder doing it or the foundation, or like a little bit of a combination of both. Like you can see right there, I'm not, like, product won't stick to it. Like I even took the brush and kind of just did this. I was not going to do blush. I am going to just do a blush just because like the redness is peeking through and I want to even it out. I'm going to take the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek Highlighter, and this is so old, I've had it forever. I'm going to take that in the shade Electric Slide, and I'm just going to put this down on the high points of my face as a base for this next highlight. So the next thing I'm going to do is go back into that Up the Ante palette, and I'm going to take this shade Wild Card, and the bronzer is called First Prize. So I'm just going to take this on an eyeshadow brush. This is a Sonia Kashuk eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to apply this to my cheeks. Jeez. Okay, so this is crazy pigmented. I've always loved Colourpop's highlighters. That's the first thing I've ever tried from them was the highlighters. And like, as you can tell, like, that's crazy pigmented. That means each of these shades was only $5. I'm also now going to take the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner, and this is in the shade Overboard, and I'm just going to line the underneath of my eyes with this. And it just kind of brings it together. It's a very like nice shade, especially if you're going to do like a warm smoky eye. This is just like, I did go ahead and spray my face and just kind of push the setting spray into my face. This is the final look for the eyes and the face. I really like it so far. I don't know if you guys can tell in this area, there's a bit of texture going on. Like it's just clinging to my textured patches a bit, and like in my nose area, you can tell that it's a little bit, it looks a little cakey. It's not anything like that I would say, oh my god, don't buy this foundation, but it looks a bit cakey. The next thing I'm going to do, well, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the Colourpop Lippy Stick. This is in the shade Upside Down, and this is a matte lippy stick. I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to put a gloss over it. I'm going to take the Colourpop gloss in the shade Lychee Me, and this was the Karuchi collab that they did, and I'm just going to add this. I literally have like nothing left to it. I'm scraping the sides of it. It was one of my favorite collabs. So guys, this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do a wear test of this today. I'm going to see how long I make it in this foundation. I might end up taking it off. I'm going to try my hardest to keep it on for you guys, and also because I want to know how long it's going to last before I place an order again, because if it's not going to last like a crazy long time, or it's not a really good foundation, I'm not going to spend $12 more and $9 more on the powders. Like, I'm just gonna see kind of how it goes today. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I know this is like a really like typical look for me, but this is kind of my thing. Right now it is 12:02, so I'm trying to get at least 6 hours out of this. I will link everything down below, as well as the Manny code to let you guys know how much to save. So it is now 4:20. And it has been about 4 hours since the foundation has been on, and as you can see, I am shiny. It's hot today, but like I didn't spend a large amount of my time in the heat. Maybe 45 minutes of my time today so far in the past 4 hours has been spent in the heat, and I'm just gonna get a little closer so you guys can see. The foundation has completely broken up under my nose, and in my lips area over here, it's settling into my fine lines. But if you could tell in here, it's starting to cake up in the corners of my nose, especially in this area. I have a lot of texture and just a lot of shininess. My chin is completely breaking up. I'm like on the fence about it because, like I said, I tried so many new products today in one, and yes, they are supposed to all kind of work in unison together, like it's the no filter collection, but like I said, everybody's face is different. I'm gonna try this foundation for the next week straight, but the color match was fine. It didn't oxidize at all, I don't feel. As far as the feeling on my skin, like I can feel that I have foundation on, but I think it's more so the powder. I really do. I'm gonna use the powder again, maybe with my favorite foundation now, just to see how it kind of works. If anything, I'll use like my normal like Rimmel Stay Matte or my Too Faced Peach Matte setting powder, or the Born This Way setting powder under my eyes like I normally do, and then I will take the banana powder from Colourpop and just kind of dust it after I set my face. I don't necessarily know if this will be a powder that I set my face with. As far as I'm concerned, it really hasn't controlled any oil in these areas at all. I will post this video either today, which is Tuesday, or Wednesday. My final opinion will be at the end of this week in the description bar below. So overall, I'm like meh. As soon as like someone posts a video on YouTube and I see that they're like, wow, this is so great, blah blah blah, and then I'm like, I don't like it, I always feel like, is it really great, or are they trying it different ways and then saying it's great? So I'm gonna be honest and try it a few more times before I let you know like my full final opinion. I'm gonna take this off. I'm not gonna do another check-in because it's hot and I want to go swimming and kind of relax now. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you later.